Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 2, Issue number 6 from Mirage Comics. This came out August 1994, and this is Killer on the Loose. So this issue starts off with a guy, I'm assuming he's a whistleblower, and he's trying to get into contact with some kind of reporters. There's some news that he has that he wants to get out. But before he can really divulge any kind of information, the payphone that he's in just kind of explodes. And we see him, he's a bloody mess, riddled with bullets, he's dead. And it turns out that Baxter, in his robot body, has silenced him, has shot the crap out of him. And he goes to the phone booth, grabs the phone book, and he looks up a name. And basically says, I've come back for you, as this giant syringe comes out of one of his fingers. And then we cut to Casey Jones's apartment, where Casey Jones, Shadow, Leo, Raph, Mikey, and April are there. And April says that she's going to go to the grocery store. And as she's driving away, something hits the bottom of her car and causes it to flip. And it turns out that it's Baxter. Baxter emerges from the ground, rips the door off the car, and grabs April and yanks her out. And then he reveals the syringe that was in his finger, and he stabs April in the shoulder. And he just says something like, I've come back, April. This is just a sample of the pain that I'm going to cause you. And then he disappears as the police arrive. And meanwhile, Casey, he heard this crash. He looks out the window, and he sees that April was the one that was in the car crash. And so we have this funny scene, in my opinion, where Casey is running towards April as April is being attended to by the medics and the police are around taking notes. And I say funny because I mentioned this in the previous issue, but Jim Lawson, every time he draws a character running, he always draws it the same way. Same perspective, always from the front. And the characters always have like their legs like bow-legged and their arms out. And to me, it just looks goofy because no one runs like this. So every time I see someone running in this volume, I can't help but laugh because it just looks so dumb. But yeah, the turtles realize, okay, Casey, we should go help him out. We should go see what we can find out. Leo's gonna stay behind to watch over Shadow. Meanwhile, Raph and Mikey take the sewers. They go to where the crash was at. So there's like a giant hole in the floor that leads to the sewers. And that's where Baxter popped out from. So Raph and Mikey go towards where that hole is, but they stay back in the shadows so that people on top side can't see them. And they just listen to the conversation that's going on. And basically the cops are interviewing April and asking her what happened. And she explains her story. And the cops don't really believe her at first, or at least the one investigating her doesn't really believe her. But then another cop shows up. He's like, I took statements from all the white eyewitnesses that were around, and they all have the same story as her. Every single one of them backs up her story. And then that's when some agents arrive, and I believe these are DARPA agents because they are aware of Baxter and the whole robot situation. But yeah, these two agents show up, and they start questioning April. There's you said a robot attacked you. Did it do anything to you? And she mentions the injury in her shoulder. And did the robot say anything to you? And she's like, I can't remember. Everything happened so fast. And Casey eventually, you know how he is with authority figures. He gets pissed off at them. So he takes April away from them. Says let's get you home, get you some rest. And the two agents are like, all right, I want to stake out on Casey and April. I want to stake out 24 hours a day. Don't let them leave your sight. And run background checks on them. I want to find out why Baxter, contacted this girl. Meanwhile, Raph and Mikey have overheard all this, and they overhear the cops getting ready to send down some people to check the sewers. So they're like, all right, let's use this time to get out of here before any of the cops see us. As they're walking, they start thinking about okay, who was it that attacked us? Or April, in any case. Was it the Foot? And they're like, well, it doesn't really make sense for the Foot to attack, because usually the Foot would go straight for us. They wouldn't have attacked April. And Karai gave her promise that she would leave the turtles alone. And they're like, well, it could be a rogue foot. And that's when they hear some noises, and they rush down the sewer tunnel, and they come across a dead end. And yeah, basically whoever it was that they were chasing collapsed the sewer tunnels, and the person who attacked April's on the other side, but there's no way they can get to them now. And they're like really bothered, like, who was it that did this? Who was it that attacked April? And then on the other side, we see Baxter in his robot body walking away. And that's how the issue ends. And when I say issue, I do mean issue, because unlike the previous stuff, there is no little mini bonus story. So yeah, it's just straight up Turtles. And this was good. I liked it. I would say it's weaker than the last issue. I think the last issue was a lot more fun. This one just feels like more like a setup. Like more of like, okay, Baxter's here, and now he's sending a message that that he's around, and now the Turtles have a new enemy that they can focus their attention on. So, but other than that, I did enjoy it. It was a good issue, just, again, weaker than the previous one, but still good. So there you go. There's Volume 2, Issue number 6, Killer on the Loose. I liked it. It was pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Hopefully we'll get more action soon. But hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later.